But clearly, Donald Trump is the winner of Thanksgiving. He's got so much to be thankful for. He ran his campaign the way he wanted. Lots of people want to give him high fives. And he was elected president, which means all those time travelers clearly failed. Oh, on top of all of that, he'll also be the first commander-in-chief who's doing president as his part-time job.
Conflicts of interest between Donald Trump's businesses and his presidency are already sparking talk of a constitutional crisis.
The question arises, how are his personal financial interests potentially conflicting with the national interests of the United States?
That's a very good question. A question you'd think would be answered after a 17-month campaign, 100 debates, and 12 billion hours of press coverage. But I mean, we spent all that time on emails. So I mean, we know so much about emails now. Have you noticed that? We know about IMAP, we know about POP3, bleach bits, and every type of server. Hell, we even know the shape and general size of Anthony Weiner's dick. But we know almost nothing about where Trump's money is. We thought on the wrong. What we do know is that Trump definitely plans on making more.
On Friday, the Trump International Hotel in D.C. entertained a group of foreign diplomats, marketing the new hotel's exclusive townhouse suite. Cost per night? $20,000.
The Secret Service is considering renting an entire floor of Trump Tower to set up a command post for protecting Donald Trump and his family when they're in New York. This is a plan that would cost about $1.5 million a year just to rent a floor of Trump Tower.
Wow, that's kind of a dick move, man. You're gonna charge rent to the people who are there to keep you alive? You're making a profit off the Secret Service? You know, if one of them takes a bullet for Trump, he's probably gonna charge them for his dry cleaning bill. Be like, you got blood on my suit, and this suit was made in China. Okay, you gotta pay. You're gonna pay. How can you do that? I wouldn't be shocked if the Secret Service gave Trump a nickname. Slumlord is on the move, Slumlord is on the move. By the way, don't do that, Secret Service. Now, in a normal administration, the president making money off the Secret Service would be a monumental scandal that would dominate the news for weeks. They would probably make an HBO show about it, or at least a Showtime one. The point is, Paul Giamatti would be in it, and it would be amazing. But for Trump, that story doesn't even make the front page news, because just in the last 2 weeks, President-elect Trump has been on the phone with world leaders every single day, and it seems like Trump's eye is not necessarily on the right ball. For instance, in Argentina, Trump's companies have been struggling to get their permits for their $100 million 35-story tower in Buenos Aires, right? So when Argentina's president called Trump to congratulate him on his victory, Trump just coincidentally handed the phone to his daughter, who will now be overseeing his real estate businesses. Oh, just out of the blue, just being like, oh, and I appreciate, oh, look at that, it's Ivanka, folks. Oh, what are the chances? Oh, now, if you'll permit me, I insist you two build a friendship together. Tower. In fact, it seems like every time Trump has a conversation with a foreign official, it somehow includes the business of Trump.
Donald Trump embroiled in a legal fight with the Scottish government over a wind farm just offshore, ruining the view. A fight he lost less than a year ago. Yet shortly after his election, he met with British politician Nigel Farage, who helped lead the Brexit movement. And did they discuss wind farms again? Just today, Trump told the New York Times, I might have brought it up.
What do you mean you might have brought it up? This is a question about international relations, and he responds like a character from a Jane Austen novel. I might have brought it up. A lady never tells. Why? Why is the president-elect of the United States stressed about the view from his Scottish golf course? You're the president! Focus, Donald, focus! Jobs, ISIS, the economy, focus! Most people see presidents as the end goal. Trump is like, now that I'm president, I can finally be a successful businessman. What are you doing? Focus. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Trump shouldn't make that paper, but at least put America's interests first. Because at this rate, U.S. foreign policy might be determined by where Trump happens to have a hotel. It's like the whole world's a monopoly board, and Trump's like, Syria, it's fine. I don't have a hotel there. Russia, you can roll again. You can roll again. I mean, the guy was on a call with the president of Turkey, And he still found the time to slip in a good word for his Istanbul business partner. Now, here's the thing. If Erdogan is nice to Trump's business partner, there's a good chance that Trump will owe Erdogan in return, which is not good for two reasons. One, no one wants to picture Trump and Erdogan scratching each other's backs. And two, if you owe President Erdogan a personal favor, the favor he calls in could be for the US to stop supporting his enemies in the Kurdish militia, which are America's most effective ally in the fight against ISIS. So Trump's Turkish skyscraper could end up hampering the battle against Middle East terrorists. And by the way, if you think foreign leaders haven't noticed where Trump's head is at, well, think again.
President Rodrigo Duterte of the Philippine leader had already named Mr. Trump's business partner in Manila as a special envoy to the United States.
Mr. Trump has been tied to Philippine real estate magnate Jose E.B. Antonio, who's been appointed the country's envoy to the U.S. Mr. Antonio is also building Trump Towers Manila in Makati.
Oh, would you look at that? The man who Trump needs to build his towers in the Philippines is now coming to Washington asking for favors from America. Yeah. So don't be shocked when Trump goes against Obama and says Duterte can go on killing people in the streets. Because then Trump will be like, yeah, you're making a killing, I'm making a killing, we're good, we're good. Being president of the United States is already the hardest job in the world. You don't need somebody who's distracted by picking curtains for his newest tower. And I've picked curtains. That is hard. It is so hard, because you have to pick more than the thing, than the space, and then there's like the one that does that, and then there's the hooks on the, and if you get the hooks, and then you're like, I didn't know the hooks were supposed to go on the, and then the thing's falling, and you're like, I should have got blinds! It's so hard. It's so hard. But all of these things Trump is doing, just think about this, think about this. If, God forbid, somebody decided to attack one of the Trump towers in the world, is that an attack on the hotel? Or is that now an attack on America? Think about it, because the hotel is owned by the President of America. And you know that Trump would react to it. The guy melts down if someone insults him on Twitter. Is he gonna invade the Middle East because someone in his lobby? Because I'll tell you now, I would. I'll tell you that straight up. I'll tell you, if I had nuclear weapons and you in my lobby, I hope you good, because that's gonna be the last anyone in your country ever takes. I'm coming for you, man. No in my lobby. Sorry. You know what I mean, though. Look. The point is, having a president who's trying to run businesses all over the world not only makes for a less focused president, but people who voted for Trump said they wanted someone who would run America like a business. More and more, though, it seems like voters got someone who is running America for his business. Maybe you should put that on a hat. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click here to subscribe. Just keep the mouse pointer away from my face, please. Don't, here, click here to, not my face, click here, please. Please, that looks, don't do that, that's sharp, click here to subscribe.